Welcome to the Pro Tips video series designed to provide biology students with some background knowledge needed to make upcoming lessons more manageable. Students are encouraged to watch these tutorials before attending lecture on the topic and rewatch them as needed while studying. I'm Professor Workman, and today's Pro Tips introduce Mendelian Genetics. Our first key term related to Mendelian genetics is gene. A gene is a segment of DNA that codes for a particular trait, like eye color. On the image of DNA here, I've circled a particular segment of DNA, so hypothetically this could be circling the gene for eye color. Genes come in different flavors. For the eye color gene, the different flavors could be brown, blue, hazel, green, etc. And it is the combination of the genes that you inherited for eye color that determine what color your eyes are. Fun fact, children inherit one eye color gene from mom and one eye color gene from dad. So it's the mix of these two information inputs that predict the eye color of the child. Here's a thought question to assess whether you're following me so far. How many eye color genes do you have total? One from mom plus one from dad, so the answer is 2. Our next key term is gamete. A gamete is a sex cell, like an egg or sperm if you're a human, or pollen if you're a plant. Gametes contain only half of a set of the organism's DNA, one of each gene. Our final key term related to Mendelian genetics is genotype. This refers to the genetic makeup of a cell or organism, and it's often described with letters representing specific genes. So the eye color gene could be represented with the letter E, while a hair color gene might be represented by a different letter. Here I've just picked A randomly. Here's a thought question to see if you follow me. A typical human cell has 46 pieces of DNA. Therefore, how many pieces of DNA do human gametes contain? Remembering that a gamete contains only half the set of the organism's DNA, half of 46 is 23. So there are 23 pieces of DNA in each sperm or egg. Why does it make sense that gametes only have half a set of DNA? Well, if an egg brings 23 bits of DNA and a sperm brings 23 bits of DNA, upon fertilization, when they combine genetic material, together that equals 46 pieces of DNA, which is the amount of DNA that it takes to make a typical human. Let's consider a simplified practice problem. Rather than looking at all 46 pieces of human DNA together at once, let's simplify that down and just consider one gene at a time, and we're going to trace how it's passed from parents to children. Keep in mind that each gamete has only one of each gene. Meet hypothetical couple, a dad and a mom. Dad's genotype happens to be uppercase A, lowercase a. This means that from this man's own parents, he inherited 2 different flavors of the A gene. From one parent, he inherited the uppercase A. From his other parent, he inherited the lowercase a. Then he grew up, and let's consider all the possible genotypes of sperm that this man produces. Remember that your DNA gets cut in half, and only half of those genes go into one gamete versus the other half of your gametes. So into half of this man's sperm goes his uppercase A, and the other half of his sperm carries the lowercase a. So considering the A gene only, this man has 2 different types of sperm. Now let's turn our attention to mom. What is her genotype? Just hypothetically, mom's genotype could be lowercase a, meaning that she inherited all the same flavor of the A gene from both her mother and her father. This makes determining all of mom's possible egg genotypes simple. This lowercase a goes into half of her eggs, and this other lowercase a, which is identical, goes into the other half of her eggs. So all of her eggs, if we're just looking at the A gene, they're all the same. If this couple is together for a long time and they have many children, let's predict the combination of lowercase and uppercase a's that each of their children could potentially inherit. So Dad has a 50-50 chance of contributing a sperm that carries a uppercase A versus a lowercase a. But all of mom's eggs are the same. They all have lowercase a. So now let's pair up all of mom's egg possibilities with all of dad's sperm possibilities. If this fertilization event happened, this uppercase A from dad and this lowercase a from mom would combine to create this little newborn, and the newborn's genotype would be uppercase A, lowercase a. Let's consider this sibling. It's the same scenario where dad's sperm combines with mom's egg, and this particular baby's genotype would also be uppercase A from dad's sperm and lowercase a from mom's egg. And let's continue this logic through for all the other possible combinations here. So this baby would inherit dad's lowercase a and mom's lowercase a, and the baby's genotype would be therefore lowercase. Over here, this egg combined with the sperm, that would also produce a baby with genotype lowercase a. So here's a thought question for you. In a family with 4 siblings, how can some siblings have brown eyes while other siblings have blue eyes? The answer is that their eye color depends on the combination of gene flavors that each sibling happened to have inherited from their mom and dad. And so these flavors get mixed up based on which sperm matches up with which egg, and that can produce siblings with different eye colors, depending on who the parents are. Here's what you've learned so far. A gene is a segment of genetic material that codes for a particular trait. We've talked about genes in terms of DNA as the genetic material. Each gene may come in different flavors, like the gene for eye color can come in brown, blue, hazel, green, etc. You've also learned that gametes are sex cells. If we're talking about humans, that means egg or sperm. Gametes have only half a set of DNA because the gametes of 2 parents combine to make a baby, and thus the baby has the full set of DNA. And finally, you've also learned that the word genotype refers to the genetic makeup of a cell or organism, and it is sometimes described with letters. An egg or a sperm has its own genotype described with half of its parents' letters. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, you might consider watching other videos in the series. Here's my contact information, and I always welcome any feedback. mworkman@pima.edu. Good luck in your biology journey.